Stress. Stress is it's a dangerous thing. It's something that we do a lot, but that we shouldn't do. Stress is a killer. The things that we stress about are often not worth stressing about at all, and they can wreak havoc on the nervous system, on the brain, on the life in general. As a result, things that we put so much time and energy into worrying about are just not worth worrying about in the grand scheme of things when you look at life as a whole and how short it is, how brief it is. And at the end, it just doesn't matter really, most things. Between life and death, I think the only thing is enjoyment that deserves the most focus. Avoidance of stress should be the goal, or at least enjoyment of life should be the goal, which in result should avoid stress or distance one from stress. You get to a certain age and you realize that the things you worried about as a child weren't really that important, but it's hard to know that when you're a child or when you're young. It's only as you get older with life experience and time that you get to see that we worry about things that really weren't worth worrying about. And we do it when we're older too, things that we deem to be more serious. And then we get a little bit older than that and we realize that those weren't as serious as we thought either when we were younger adults and older adults. And we definitely learn it when we get to be old adults. Maybe some never learn it, but from what I've experienced myself and what I've heard from others who are older than me, often say from their words of wisdom that the things we worry about, we really shouldn't worry about, and basically not worth worrying about. Yeah, stress. It's definitely a killer of all good things and the possibility of good things, for sure. For sure, we don't bear that in mind as much as we should. We don't bear that in mind as much as we should. It's a big topic that should be highlighted in terms of how irrelevant it is in the grand scheme of things to engage in, although it doesn't seem that way in the heat of a moment or upset or disappointment or incident. The stress itself doesn't really achieve much, and definitely doesn't achieve much towards positivity, towards favorable outcomes. It really doesn't achieve much in terms of action, positive action. It really is a hindrance to all of that. And I think it's one of those things that should be definitely advised upon and something that should be looked at with guidance and how to deal with it, how to avoid it. I think it's inevitable, but I think the biggest problem is not knowing how to handle stress in the situations that it arises in. And I think once someone can understand how to maneuver themselves through stressful situations, they can lighten their load in this journey from life to death and all that's in between on that journey. Stress can really take away the joy of life. And I guess some people get to points where they realize they spent the whole journey stressing about a thing that didn't really need that much stressing, and they missed all the joy along that journey, that had they handled that stress much better, they could have enjoyed that journey a lot better. That's one of the things I think is important to share with those who need it at the times they need it at, or in case they need it. And I guess these are also words to self as well, on remembering not to take stress on board. And the older you get, with the less time you get, how much more important that is, and how much more relentlessly you must engage in the pursuit of avoiding stress and stressful situations. And I say that as I overlook the lake and the mountains and the trees and the birds and the sunshine overlooking all of that, and the cool breeze blowing across the water. I'm reminded of how easy it is to get caught up in our little lives and the trivialities of each day and lose sight of the importance of grasping the beauty from the brevity between life and death.